You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, General Hospital fans, we have got Sidwell wanting to get rid of Sonny, and he just mentioned he is about to be done with the mob man once and for all. Sidwell would love to kill Sonny, but I suspect Sidwell might have a different outcome in mind. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we're going to talk about how Sidwell might frame Sonny for crimes he didn't commit to send him to prison for life and get him out of Sidwell's way. And please hit that subscribe button if you're not following us yet. Let's get into it. So Michael, Sonny, and Carly are all worried about Michael going down for Drew's shooting because Alexis needs to prove Willow is innocent, and part of a defense is to give an alternate suspect. And Christina is worried it's going to be Michael, which Alexis pretty much confirmed while they were talking. The only way Drew is going to let Alexis and the Davis family continue to see Scout, everybody but Danny, is for Alexis to do a great job defending Willow. And it looks right now like Michael planted the gun to frame Willow. If so, Alexis needs to prove that, but circumstantially, it looks accurate. Proving that frame job could also prove that Michael shot Drew. In terms of circumstantial evidence, the big question for me is if Michael did plant the gun, how did he know which gun from Edward's collection was used? Michael told Jacinda he didn't shoot Drew, but if he didn't, how did he know which gun to plant in Willow's room? That's the missing piece for me. Otherwise, the real shooter knew which gun it was, obviously, and then Michael just happened to be over there to offer Willow the chance to see the kids and somehow hope she would go down for the crime. There's just these loose ends about if Michael's not the shooter, how would he know what gun to plant? And did he actually plant it? He's acting like he did, so that's kind of a missing link question for me. But in the end, I don't think either Willow or Michael actually shot Drew. I think it was somebody else, somebody like Sidwell, maybe, the same way he killed the judge. I think he's playing a long plan to take down Sonny. Honestly, it's just kind of slow writing at this point. Either way, Michael's worried because he doesn't have an alibi, and he did go over there with the intent to do something to Drew. And then Michael changed his mind and paid Jacinda, the soon-to-be ex-hooker, to fake his alibi. So Michael is working overtime, and he is trying to strengthen that fake alibi by reforming Jacinda, giving her a real job, and pretending that she and Michael are in a relationship. Jacinda even said it makes her wonder if Michael really did shoot Drew. Now, Jacinda, after talking to him, seems to believe that Michael's innocent, and she's willing to go along with his plan and take the job, especially since Jacinda was asking about health insurance, because apparently prostitutes don't usually get medical and dental coverage, right? They get a package instead of a benefits package. So while Michael is working to secure that alibi, things may take a shocking turn, and Sonny may be implicated instead of Michael. The Teflon Don of Port Charles could become the lead suspect and wind up in Pentonville accused of trying to kill Drew. Recently, Marco was raging to his dad, Sidwell, and saying that Sonny needs to pay for his mom, Natalia's death. Now, she drank and drugged herself to death, but Marco fully blames Sonny for it. And then Sidwell told Marco that very soon, Sonny would be out of their way once and for all. But I don't think Sidwell is going to kill Sonny, even though he said it's tempting. And by saying it's tempting, that means to me that Sidwell considered it and then discarded the idea. I still think Sidwell blew up Sonny's penthouse And since that didn't work, he has moved on to other ideas. So I think Sidwell might be setting Sonny up for prison, possibly for the murder of Judge Heron and also for Drew's shooting. If Sidwell can frame Sonny for murder and attempted murder of a sitting congressman, well, that should put him away for life, get him out of the way. Then he won't be a problem for Sidwell ever again. He can get control of Sonny's peers and use those for all his nefarious business needs. So just based on Sidwell's chat with Marco, that's what I expect to see in November sweeps, which kicks off on Thursday, October 30th. Meanwhile, Sonny is hyper-focused on protecting Michael, so he may not see Sidwell coming for him to set him up. And of course, Sonny knows Sidwell is a threat, even though he claims he wants to put all their misunderstandings behind them. But he may be misreading what kind of threat that he is. Sonny thinks both Sidwell and Marco are up to something, but I don't think Sonny suspects Sidwell would frame him and send him to prison for Drew's shooting. I think Sonny's expecting Sidwell to just straight up try and kill him. So Sonny should be blindsided. So will his family if it goes this way. One reason that Sidwell would also like to see Sonny in jail instead of dead is because he kidnapped Marco. And yeah, it's true. Sidwell burned down Christina's bar, but she wasn't even supposed to be there. Nobody was. And if she wasn't so dumb, she would have walked out safely on her own. Remember, there was no fire by the front door, but she stood there staring until it spread to the front door. And then the back door was still clear with no fire. And Christina stood there staring at that instead of running. It was some of the worst shot stuff. Basically, she was standing there intentionally about to let herself burn to death. But then Marco ran in and rescued her. And as repayment for that good deed, Sonny kidnapped Marco to punish Sidwell rather than being grateful that Marco's not evil like his dad. Basically, Sidwell sees it that Sonny escalated by kidnapping and holding Marco prisoner. So he may think Sonny needs to be imprisoned. Right now, the PCPD doesn't have Sonny or Jason at the top of their murder suspect board, which is pretty rare. Jason was in Croatia, so he has a perfect alibi. And Sonny wasn't ever really looked at closely because other people had more motive to kill Drew. And if it was Sidwell who had Drew shot because he was being difficult and they were arguing, if you remember, he might be just making lemonade out of lemons. I do think Sidwell wanted Drew dead, but he survived. So Sidwell's just going to pivot and use this to his advantage in another way. We could see some evidence turn up soon that points the PCPD in Sonny's direction. I mean, it's the perfect solution for Sidwell because he can get rid of Sonny without killing him or laying a hand on him. And Marco would be thrilled to see Sonny behind bars, even if he's not being charged for Natalia. He's still paying for crimes. Then Sidwell can stay off the radar, watch Sonny be hauled off to Pentonville, and then Sidwell can run amok in Port Charles, flexing his power. And honestly, Sonny isn't convinced Michael is innocent of the shooting. So Sonny may actually do the time if he thinks Michael did the crime. Watch for this to explode in November sweeps as Sidwell's plan kicks into high gear.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.